I've become more and more annoyed by creationists and religious people in general asking what the purpose of life is. If there's no God, what would be the point? Because in my mind, it's been, to me, fairly obvious. I may be crazy. In fact, I probably am to a large degree on many topics. But the purpose of life really hasn't been confusing to me, ever. And I've always seen it as inevitable. Maybe not consciously. You know, when I was a kid, I've had, fanciful ideas, I suppose. But in my conscious realization of where and why life exists, to me has always been because it's logical. It is a logical inevitability. And the example I give is a giant tumbler full of Legos. All shapes, all sizes, all colors. But, Legos in general. And you start that tumbler slowly tumbling. Legos are shaped in such a way that they snap together when they hit or are pushed together in the appropriate directions. If you have a large tumbler full of Legos, and if you've ever had Legos in a container, you know they just stick together. And every once in a while, you'll get a Legos that are clumped together that will appear to be like something, much like clouds. And it is not necessarily random. They stick together in precise ways. Otherwise, they don't stick together. And the molecules of the universe, the carbon molecule is shaped a certain way and has certain properties. An oxygen molecule is shaped a certain way and has certain properties. And you put that in a tumbling universe, and things are going to stick together. We call those chemical reactions. And it's going to happen. So it always dumbfounds me how people can say, oh, without God, I just don't feel a purpose. I had a person ask me quite some time ago why I think I was here. What was the purpose of my life? And my answer is it was a logical inevitability that I exist. Maybe not me in this particular way. Things could have happened and another me in another time and place could have appeared. But life in general, us as conscious entities, were logical inevitabilities. If you take the shapes and properties of molecules, the physics of the universe, and you jumble them all together, life is going to happen. There's really no way around it. So, I suppose this was just a video I wanted to put out stating the purpose that I think life has. It was just logical. And I also suppose I want to put on the end of this my thoughts on the Big Bang and the universe and where it came from. Because I've been thinking about this a bit. As many of you probably have noticed, I haven't been doing a lot of videos because I've been kind of introverted a bit, going through some mental gymnastics. But it occurred to me that I'd never actually said what my theory was, or what I've gleaned from my readings and viewings of scientific theories, what I think the theory of the universe is, I suppose. And I just wanted to put it out there, mostly for my own benefit, so I can come back and view this later, and to get some opinions. In trillions and trillions of years, the pull that's making the universe expand faster and faster, whatever that force may be, is eventually going to pull everything apart. I plan on living at least several 100,000 years, but I suppose I have to admit eventually that I will cease to exist. In fact, not only will I cease to exist, rocks will cease to exist, planets, suns, black holes. In the far distant future, trillions and trillions of years, whatever that mystical force is, the unknown force, I should say, let's not mince stuff here. Whatever the unknown force is will eventually pull the universe and all its atoms apart into thinner and thinner and smaller particles until the particles are no longer particles as we know them, which will itself create a vacuum or energy potential. Because as we all know, nature abhors a vacuum, as a lot of creationists have been using lately, which is odd. But I think at some point the particles are going to become so distant and the vacuum so intense that you will get a huge potential, which will, I believe, spark another Big Bang, great expansion, energy release, static zap on a cosmic scale, and that will start the whole process over again. I know the other theory, the Big Crunch, where gravity would pull it all back into singularity, then explode again. That I think the idea is sound, but I think it's backwards. Instead of the big contraction, I think it's going to be the ultimate in expansion and energy potential, which will create another Big Bang. I have no idea whether that will create another universe or more matter within this universe. I've taken to imagining myself in a ship that has magical shields of some sort, or super powerful shields that will shield me for anything that happens on the cosmic scale. And if I could wait long enough, if another Big Bang occurred or great expansion occurred, if I would ever see it, or if it would create its own universe or own dimension and I would be stuck in the vacuum. I'm still up in the air about that, but I just wanted to put this out there as my current theory on life, the universe, and everything. Thanks. Peace.